Hello, my name is Taylor Hogue, and this is my first review in creative writing. The genre I have selected is film, and the two titles I have decided to review are Casablanca and Forrest Gump. I was unable to participate in last week's discussion, or review I should say. I took part in a bit of the discussion. Was due to the fact that I was too ill to be able to take the time to create the video as much as I would have liked to. I will not get into detail on what happened. I don't think you want to know. And as for why I'm not showing my face, I have a severe anxiety disorder and I'm just not comfortable with showing my face on screen. No offense to any of you, I'm sure you're all very nice. And I've already received some nice responses on my introduction, so I know that's a confirmation. As for what ideas I enjoyed the best, my favorite idea that the director Michael Curtiz added to Casablanca was Rick's escape and Renault's own change in character. It wasn't like he just automatically flipped a switch and Renault all of a sudden was a remorseful good guy. No, it was a bit of a build-up. There was little foreshadowing bit by bit in the way Strausser basically overrode his power more and more and kind of started treating him like a throwaway minion. And I think that it was implied that it gave Renault a taste of what it would be like when the Nazi regime got there. And I also think that he was inspired to change by Rick's own change in character, in sacrificing everything, almost everything, to save the woman he loved and putting her own happiness ahead of his own. But ultimately, it was Strausser's own mistreatment and damaging of the captain's pride, I think, that caused him to realize how it felt to be under somebody's boot, really. And I think it made him much more sympathetic to the plight of others. It truly was a start to a beautiful friendship, and I think the reason that Michael Curtiz decided to add this idea of Rick's own escape with Renault and how he was able to do it so easily with Renault's power was due to his own inability to rescue those innocents that were ultimately killed during the war that he himself fought in. It was a very dark time in his life and it caused him severe depression. And I think, in a way, he was able to give those who were not able to fight or have a chance for a happy ending the chance to continue on the good fight and eventually, maybe someday, have a life of their own. As for Forrest Gump, the idea I most enjoyed was how they had Forrest, little by little over time, rise from his station, in that back then most people in his state with his disabilities, his crippled back, his legs, and of course his own low IQ score would probably make him like a janitor at best, or a restaurant cashier. But instead, Forrest blows all of those expectations out of the water, taking every one of his own trials and tribulations in stride, overcoming them, and even inspiring other people to overcome their own trials and tribulations. I think the director, Robert Zemeckis, added this happy ending for Forrest, well, bittersweet happy ending, was due to his own struggles to get to where he was. He had very little support from his parents, and his background for the time meant that he would amount to probably little to nothing, sadly. But he fought tooth and nail to overcome his own struggles and inabilities due to his own background, and I think he wanted to portray some of his struggles in this Forrest Gump movie. I'm not sure, and I think that's why he came up with the idea of making Gump responsible for all these little tidbits that ultimately caused success for himself and many other people's lives he touched. I would like to continue on with more ideas that I enjoyed in the film and that why I think they came up with them, but sadly I can only keep this a 5-minute video. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I look forward to next week.